I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. Well, it's a family tradition, any Rocky Mountain day. Our fathers before us showed us the way. We worked for asphalt cowboys and concrete kings, but that's never been a problem, because we got diesel in our veins. We've got diesel in our veins. I see those big...
What's up, JFW family? Welcome back to the Challenge 23 podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to reach out and touch the fleet, to engage and inform everyone with all things JFW. In the studio today, we got Jim White, Brother Dave White, Super Dave Weldon, and myself, Jam Backus.
Hi, everybody.
Good morning,
team. Happy podcast day.
Are sad to announce the White family and the JFW family suffered a loss yesterday, that being Jim White Sr. passed away, and his legacy will continue on here at JFW, and we're going to have a moment of silence for Jim. Was your dad a patriot?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely. We have an appointment already today, Jim, to meet with Ohlingers, and they asked for his discharge papers because he can have military honors.
Nice.
And go through all that stuff. So,
Yeah,
definitely the Pledge of Allegiance meant a lot, and I know that's where you're headed.
He was one of your guys, JR. He was a flyboy.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, let's say the pledge, and we'll say it also in his honor.
Absolutely.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Father God, we thank you for the opportunity to go out and do some trucking today. We pray for the safety of our fleet, all of their families, and all the other families and individuals we come across on the road today. We pray for patience in the making of good, safe decisions. We pray to be accident-free, and that we all make it back to the comfort of our homes this evening. We pray for healing and 100% recovery for all of our family members that are ill. No matter what, we trust you, God, and it's in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
As a reminder, anything and everything you hear on today's show is not the opinion of JFW's, but the expressed opinions of the four men in this room. Last episode had 249 downloads. We are at 98.1 thousand total downloads, and we have 781 followers.
Love those stats. That's
Yep.
good.
There's a couple times I didn't do the stats, and Jim Sr. complained about that, so we put them back in. He's like, we like hearing that. Brother Dave, do you know, let me get the right date up here. I had it, and I lost it, but I'm going to get it again.
Man, I'm already nervous. Put me on the spot.
You are on the spot. Yep. This is.
Are you going to reel me in for this dad joke or what?
No, you're not getting reeled in. This
ought to be good. I feel it.
Man, oh man, oh man.
Uh-oh.
Dun, 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 dun. Do you know what happened on this day in 2012?
Wow, this day in 2012.
July 30th, 2012.
Oh my goodness. And you're asking me, it has to be some political.
Not
stuff.
necessarily.
No.
You do like other things.
I don't like politics. That's the problem. It pissed me off and wind me up. That's the problem with it. I don't know, Jim. Enlighten me.
On this day in 2012, Missy Franklin, a 17-year-old swimmer from Centennial,
Yes.
won her first gold medal in the women's 100-meter backstroke at the London Olympics.
Yes.
Thought it'd be interesting.
I'm kind of shocked that it was the London Olympics, Jim, because right now the Worlds, it's just called the Worlds, is going on.
Okay.
And Katie Ledecky just won her, oh my gosh, I hate to put a number out there. I want to say it was her 22nd or 23rd gold
Wow.
at Worlds. And, that meet we went back to for Sam like 3 weeks ago in Indy, I told all you guys we got to see all the Olympians there for the U.S. team. And, they were all there swimming for their colleges. And I'm like, Sam, I didn't know this was that big a meet. And he goes, oh, it's not. He goes, this is just a good tune-up meet for Worlds coming up. So, I mean, Katie Ledecky wasn't there, but we got to see Lily King, Reagan Smith, Leon Marchand, and I mean, just nameless. I mean, just names and names and names of Olympians. And it's funny, you're watching all these D1 badass college swimmers swim, and then an Olympian is in that heat, and you're like, holy shit.
Those levels.
Shit just got real. You know what I mean? You're like, wow,
That's
unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, a couple of the times we got to see their jam, like Reagan Smith in the backstroke. And the only reason I vividly so remember this, she went the second fastest time in the world this year.
Wow.
Right? Second fastest time in the world set this year in the lane right next to Sam's girlfriend.
Wow.
That does the 2 backstroke. And Sam's girlfriend, and I don't remember the seconds, you guys, and this is a lifetime when you're in the water, but it was like 4 seconds.
Oh, wow.
And Sam's girlfriend got second. You know, obviously Reagan beat her, but I mean, holy crap.
Wow.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I bet you she swam fast because she had the Olympian in the lane next to her.
She
You
PR'd.
know?
It was her best time.
I see. There you go.
Yeah,
Right?
Yeah. 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 Those people are they're another level.
Wow.
What they have done. And yeah. So that's cool. Cool stat.
Yeah. I thought you enjoyed that.
I do. Yeah. Thank you. Very cool.
Do you guys know why the broom was late for work?
The broom,
Yeah.
Man, it brushed things off.
No.
it was hanging out in the closet.
No, it overswept.
Love it.
Oh, and then I did see in the news today, Coldplay hasn't released a new song in years. Then they made 2 new singles in one night.
That's a great one.
That is awesome.
That's a great
That
one.
is awesome.
I mean, that whole situation is so funny because,
It is.
you know, I assume the couple, and I know they were cheating and stuff, but, you know, did it out of the spur of the second, you know, and then you do that and then all their regret. Can you,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
you know, how it,
Yeah.
just like, whoa.
And the stories that, whether
Yeah,
they're
they-
true or not, just
they
the stories
Quit
that
their
have come out of it.
jobs. I mean,
Yeah.
their
I mean-
whole life is over.
Yeah.
You go to a concert and boom, this is where it ends up.
And life
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Life
Oh, boy.
changed.
And that's going to be going on for a decade now.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Kiss Cam, people actually have signs, "This is my wife."
Yeah.
And then they have like the 2 mascots. Did you see that video of the 2 mascots?
No,
like,
yeah.
doing out, and then they're like covering their faces. And
I just love all the memes,
Oh, yeah.
all of those on top of that, you know, because it shows Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky.
oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
I mean, they're just
You know, all those years Jackie and I went to those Nuggets games, we just really wanted to be on the Kiss Cam.
Yeah.
We never ever were. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, they're right. You know, and we'd see a couple down the way or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
too
Good stuff.
funny.
Yeah.
Well, it's time for the dad joke challenge. Unless you guys
I love it.
quit.
I've only got one. I'm just jumping right in there. Did you guys hear about the man who boarded the plane with 6 kids? After they got settled in their seats, a woman sitting across the aisle leans over to him and asks, "Are all of those kids yours?" He replies, "No, ma'am. I work for a condom company and these are customer complaints."
I like that.
Kind of thought that was an appropriate dad joke.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, because Dad just passed away, I kind of went a little dark here. I did stuff about death. So Confucius say, "Man who runs behind car will get exhausted, but man who runs in front of car will get tired."
Ah.
So that's a good play on words.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Right? So what does a liar do after he dies?
I don't know.
Repent his sins, probably.
He lies still.
Ah.
Wah, wah, wah.
He lies still.
And will glass coffins be a success?
Oh.
Remains to be seen.
Ah. Those are dark.
And then my last one it's not so dark, but Tim bought 2 goldfish and named them 1 and 2. If one died, he'll still have 2.
Now that's
I like
It's a
that.
little brain teaser, kind of.
Good stuff.
I actually have a couple of brain teasers. I don't know why I looked this up this morning, but a doctor and a bus driver are both in love with the same woman, an attractive girl named Sarah. The bus driver had to go on a long bus trip that would last a week, And before he left, he gave Sarah 7 apples. Why?
One to eat for each day he's gone. I don't know.
Apple of my eye.
Oh, to keep the doctor away.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away. All right. Ding, ding, ding. You got that
Took
one.
me a minute, Dave. I'm like, wait a minute. Apples, what?
Yeah, this one's a little harder, and it took me a minute, man. I had to think about it. I left my campsite and hiked south for 3 miles. Then I turned east and hiked for 3 miles. I then turned north and hiked for 3 miles, at which time I came upon a bear inside my tent eating my food. What color was the bear?
Man, super dick.
Right?
Oh.
They were all like this, Jim, and I just read through like 10 of them, and I'm like, these are ridiculous, but I decided to keep this one because once I read you the answer, it's really going to make you think.
I'm going to throw out there it was white.
You're right. Okay. Now why?
Polar bear.
Yeah, that's
It
what.
was a polar bear
It was white. Yep.
because it was at the North Pole.
Okay. So since the only place you can actually do this is the north, meaning hike 3 miles, 3 miles, 3 miles, is the North Pole. And the polar bears are the only kind of bears that live there.
Gotcha.
So you think, why can you do that at the North Pole? Hike 3 miles one way, 3 miles east or south and east, and then turn left and hike 3 miles north.
Because you're already at the north.
Yeah, because it's
Just
the
starting-
North Pole. It's
Yeah.
the curvature of the
It's
earth.
a triangle, not
Yes.
I got you.
Yes. And
You hiked
I
the
sat there and
triangle.
I'm like, oh, yeah. Boom, light bulb. But yeah, I thought that was kind of cute.
Sure.
What else were you thinking, Dave?
Good stuff.
I got another one here about a woman who shoots her husband, but I won't go there.
That's with my death joke.
That was on Fox 31 this morning.
Didn't that just happen in New York?
There was a shooting out there. Yeah.
There was, wasn't there? It was
Yeah,
bad.
there was.
Guy drove up from Nevada.
Huh?
From
A
Nevada,
guy
yeah.
drove up from Nevada, walked into a place with the AR-15, walked up by like 100 people with the AR out, and then I think he shot and killed 4 people. I don't know all the details.
Ah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
I read on that the first person he shot was right when he walked in the door. He shot the security guard.
2 different stories.
And then he went up. He was actually looking for the NFL offices.
Yes.
Yeah, but he went to the wrong floor and shot a bunch of innocent people.
Hmm.
Had nothing to do with the NFL.
Well, in lighter news,
Yeah, holy cow.
new employees.
Way to bring the room down.
Yeah. We got John Green, Julian Villalobos, Jonathan De La Cruz, all started in the fleet this week, and then Diego Maines started on the night shift as a mechanic.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah,
welcome aboard, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to throw this out there too. John Green goes by Charlie.
Cool. That makes sense.
That's what I thought. And then I'm like, what?
So can we
But
call him
he's-
Chuck or no?
He's John Charles Green, and he's the third John Charles Green. So he goes, it got a little complicated at holidays. And so he's Charlie.
Cool. I'm going to call him Chuck.
There's a story behind it. Yep.
Celebrations, anniversaries. Todd Dull hit 3 years on Friday.
Ah, congratulations, Todd.
Well, we'll hit
go.
3 years this Friday. John Moore will hit 8 years this Saturday.
Congrats, John.
Yeah.
8 years and 2 knees.
Yep. Yep. and he's back. I mean, he knocked those out.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
yeah. That's awesome.
Birthdays, Dustin Courier, he had a birthday on the 27th. Brian Brecht and Marco Gutierrez has a birthday today. And then Jose Martinez has a birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday, gentlemen.
Birthday.
We have no family birthday celebrations this
Oh,
week.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
4 drivers and no family.
Yeah,
That's just unusual.
it is.
It is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, just because the family pool of names is so
Much
big.
bigger. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, shout outs. Linda brought this up, but JFW would like to give a big shout out and a big welcome back to Stingray. Stingray started back on Monday, and it's really nice to see him back here and have him back part of the fleet.
Absolutely. Welcome
Yep.
back, Stingray.
Tell you, it sounded. I'm sorry, Dave.
No, go ahead.
Sounded so good. He had his big radio installed in the truck, and he was shouting out this morning and coming in, and it was good.
Nice. He looked
It's
good this morning. I talked to him
Yeah.
he talked to me for just a split second. So
He wasn't over there going, lie away, lie away, lie away. Welcome back, Mike. Good to see you, buddy.
Probably feels good for him to.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, I'm sure it could be tiring, but it probably feels good to get out of the house and
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What a
have
journey.
something to do.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Him and Rico, and we've had a lot of warriors in that damn cancer arena. And
Yeah.
Yep.
Dale,
yeah. Huh?
nothing.
Oh, I thought you said
I
somebody
did,
else.
but I don't know if that's public
Dale.
knowledge.
Oh, I know Dale. I mean, he's one of them. Another name that's
Yeah.
been through
Oh,
some
right.
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Everybody's
Super Dave for 5 years now. 8 years.
Yeah.
It's 7 years.
7 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, you got, like you said, Dave, they're all warriors.
Warriors,
It's-
man.
Yeah, it's
Warriors.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And I know, well, that's next. So Rick next there,
Go for it.
he had a biopsy and no cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great
The way-
news.
Yeah, the way it's been, that is great news.
Yeah. It's nice to see that good news.
Yeah,
Right?
get a win, right?
Yeah.
You just
Right.
kind of get used to like when I had a biopsy, got cancer.
Right.
So
Yeah.
congratulations, Rick. That's got to
Yeah.
be
Yeah. Yeah. And then just right back to Stingray or Mike, when I talked to him, I said, you're ready to come back. Everybody turns you loose. And he said that his surgeon looked at him and said, you look like the day I met you, and you can go do your thing.
Nice.
Turn him loose. He said, I think
Nice.
that's the best thing for you. And I
I'm
know
going to buy him a Snickers. He's lost too much weight.
he is a little
Yeah,
thin. That's
yeah.
that's
But
the only thing.
Understandably.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Super glad you're back, Mike.
Can you get him a cheeseburger instead?
He
Double.
can't eat meat.
Oh, I didn't
He's
know that.
allergic to meat. Yeah.
But he's not allergic to Snickers.
Well,
Cool.
Snickers was my idea, but yeah. Yeah. And I mean, the only reason I know about the allergic to beef is we had a barbecue here years and years and years,
Wow.
years ago, Jim,
Really?
on a Saturday, and he was working, and I made all these hamburgers, and Mike comes up. I'm like, here, get a burger, Mike. And he's like, I can't. And I was like, that was the day I realized, okay, so now we have to have brats or chicken, or, you know what I mean? Like, we can't just have hamburgers,
Huh.
So, yeah.
Wow.
And for me, and Mike, I hope I'm not oversharing, is he was able to eat it for years and years and years, and then realized it was making him sick. And I don't know the details of
Huh.
it. So,
Man, imagine that.
I mean, I couldn't imagine not being able to eat a steak. Like I got one I cooked 3 days ago that's left over in the, because we cook extra on weekends and eat it all week. I hear them calling me right now. Do you guys hear that? Like, Dave.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other day about being a vegetarian. I was like, unless God starts making animals out of vegetables, I'm
Right.
not gonna be one.
Right. I mean, you're a secondhand vegetarian.
Yeah, they only eat
Eating the animals that eat the
grass.
vegetables.
Yeah, absolutely. There's something wrong with us.
It's
You
our
wanna
expressed opinion.
Yeah, that's true. Do you want to take the next shout out there?
What is the next shout out there? Oh, look at that. So, hey, Luis Hernandez from Superior, was it construction or Superior line boring?
I think it's
It
line
just says
boring. It
Superior.
says Superior on
Yeah.
the doors. And anyway,
Yeah.
he's with the line bore crew, right, Dave?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, so we met a group of guys yesterday over at Yard 23 that's doing all the line boring and bringing in the electricity from down the street for us. And with, oh gosh, who's the,
Sturgeon, the crew
Yeah,
at
with
Sturgeon.
Sturgeon.
Yeah, there was a crew from Sturgeon, and the Superior guys were there.
yeah, Sturgeon Electric has probably hired
Mm-hmm.
these guys. So anyway, we were all finished. We went over and chatted it up with them for like 20 minutes to understand everything they were doing and how the line bore machine works, because they were boring over and under our gas line, electric line, water line,
Fiber optics.
Yeah, everything was there in the street, and they had to go right through it. And I'm like, okay, how do you steer it? How does this work? I don't understand, And they had an opening in the ground, and man, you could shine a flashlight right in those, like an 8-inch borehole, and you could see right down to what they had located, meaning the line in the street that they couldn't hit. And then there was their line bore either right over it or right under it on several holes there. And it was just the coolest thing. And anyway, Jim and I were walking away, and Luis says, hey, give us a shout out on the podcast. And we were like, what? So then we turned around and went back and shot the shit with him for a few minutes. And he was friends with Arturo that used to work here. So anyway, shout out Luis Hernandez, if you're listening, buddy, from Superior. Thanks for doing a good job. We're excited for our new build over there.
Yeah, and
Glad you were part of it for us.
Yeah, sorry, Dave, didn't mean to.
No, you're good.
But in there, but they were all really friendly too.
Yes.
I mean, they took the time,
Good
explained it. We just walked up and a couple dumbasses basically trying to figure out what they didn't have to talk to us at
They
all.
didn't have to tell us
They
a
took
thing.
the time
Yep.
and explained everything and showed us, and
Yep.
good couple of crews between Sturgeon and Superior.
Yep.
Thanks, you guys.
They could have been like the flagger that was there. No, just kidding.
he was
doing his job.
great too. Yeah, he was great too. Yeah.
Shout out to David Munford. He was coming back. I believe he was on his way back, right? That was coming.
No, he was going up.
Going to fair
Yep,
play.
going to fair play at 40 in the morning.
You want to finish this one up?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So David Munford was on his way up to fair play at 5:40 in the morning last week and doing a great job. He was in I'll call that a passing zone or a 2-lane area, right?
Three lane area, kind of.
Yeah, technically, right? 2 one way and 1 the other. And anyway, a Coleman truck was passing him, and David was already going speed limit, doing everything great. And when the Coleman truck passed him, he kind of had some tires on the yellow line, and a pickup truck coming down, pulling a 2-axle bumper pull trailer with a little mini excavator on it, was doing the same thing. And his trailer tires were over the yellow line. So both the trailers connected and hit each other. Well, obviously the little trailer, took the loss and wound up skidding off the road, further ahead or behind them, I guess, as they passed. So my point is, David, great job. You were doing everything right. We talk about that corridor being so dangerous and how it's not worth speeding. And I find it ironic how at 5:40 in the morning, when 2 end dumps run into each other or meet going the same direction, the urge to pass when it's only going to save you the time to load.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're talking a couple minutes, and I don't see the urgency to have to do that, and shout out, to Jim Coleman. He called me and, we had a great talk there. We've mentioned it before. They're a great family. They do the same thing we do. And we are the premier haulers out of fair play. And we've said this and said this and said this, that we need to do it right. And, shout out to David Munford. He was doing it right. He was speed limit. He was fully in his lane. He was on the money and doing everything right. And, unfortunately this driver for Coleman wasn't. And we run into the same thing where we have some times here that we've had people not doing it right. And unfortunately they let this guy go. He put that other oncoming traffic in peril, put their lives in danger by going too fast and not doing it right. And, we wanted to capitalize and emphasize on this moment. Thank God no one was hurt. I'm sure tickets will be involved, lots of money, insurance is going to exchange hands. Who knows? People can sue, whatever the case may be, but that's why it's so critical to just go the speed limit. You don't need to speed up there. You always need to stay in control and stay in your lane and just do it right. And we just wanted to take the opportunity to emphasize how important that is. You wouldn't think, what is that, 18 inches across that double yellow, and those 2 trailers hit each other. You're literally passing oncoming traffic with nothing but 2 yellow lines between you, separating you.
Right.
2 vehicles going 55 miles an hour. That's a 110 mile an hour collision when you hit. So those 2 trailers hit each other going 110. It was a 110 mile an hour impact.
Yeah.
So put that in your head and think about that when you have someone you feel the urge you have to pass because they're going too slow, when in reality, it's only going to cost you, 120 seconds. That's not a lot.
Right.
It's just not a lot of time. Or 180 seconds.
Yeah. I always think of the other side of the coin too. The Coleman driver got fired, right?
Oh, yeah.
That dude was headed to a job site or something that he's not going to be able to do his job that day because he wrecked his excavator and wrecked his trailer and everything.
Yeah, it tipped over, Dave.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
So, just slow down. You'll get there when you get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly what you're saying, Dave. It's the cost afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Right. And hours afterwards and days afterwards and all that for just slowing down. And
could be months.
And I think I'd like to mention too, with the Coleman, because we discuss us being percentage and, the something of the load and all that kind of stuff and the speeds that we ask you to go. And yet we really, ask you guys to, like Dave just said, to go speed limit, do this stuff. We have Samsara and everything else, but Coleman drivers are hourly. And here's an hourly person still racing to get in front of us to get that load cross the double yellow line, everything they put in jeopardy, and it doesn't matter the pay.
Right.
It still happens. It's how you're going to drive that vehicle and how you're going to present yourself. I mean, it was just last week or the week before we talked about the brotherhood of truck driving and the sisterhood of truck driving. This is not what we want, because you said it, Dave. We're the premier trucking companies up there.
Yep.
And look how that made us look.
I mean, we're already in a hated industry, and we've gotten calls. We took a call last Saturday, that we were blocking too much traffic coming up 285, because I think we pulled 35 or 40 loads out of Fairplay last week. And last Saturday, we took a call complaining because our trucks were all grouped up impeding traffic going up the hill. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would be great to ask everyone, hey, don't wait and pair up, but so there's two trucks together? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
On a Saturday, and if I had somebody I wanted to run with, it would be nice to run together, and, you go. But people's attitude, what I'm getting at is, we're such a visual issue up there, right? If we're going too fast, we're in trouble. If we're going too slow, we're in trouble.
Yeah. If we're in the left lane, we're in trouble. If we're in the right lane, we're in trouble.
Right, Dave? And so I guess my point is, we have to be so perfect. And the majority of the trucks coming out of there is JFW and Coleman. So we have to be beyond perfect. Every single load, every trip up, every trip down, it's got to be speed limit. It's got to be in your lane. It's got to be the right way. Period. I mean, the state patrol has been called. They're all up there. I mean, we've went over and over and over this, and it is too important to screw up. Right.
And the funny thing about it is, we're talking about time. What do you think that impedance was, Dave? This is where we were going to so slow. What it really cost somebody in time, Dave? A minute? You know what I mean? As we pull it and they get caught behind us.
The only thing it could be is how fast you can load. I mean, how fast does the loader load? Is that what you're talking about?
No, about the complaint we got, Dave.
Oh, yeah.
What did it really cost?
The four-wheeler?
Yeah. What did it really cost that person?
It cost that person the same as the Coleman driver that was in the accident. It wouldn't have been worth them speeding.
Because there's lots of places to pass. We pull up through there fairly quickly.
Yeah.
All this.
It's not awful. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that email. It's kind of, unless we're following too close to each other.
Yeah.
People can't merge in and out.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like you're driving on a road that exists because of trucks.
Yeah.
Right.
Give us a break.
Yeah.
Public highway.
Yep. Exactly.
Let's see. Casey wants to give a shout out to Troy Holmes for giving him a hand over at Central with the hoses and fittings. There's been some changes over at Central as far as the Boca division goes, and they put some safety measures in place. Everything looks a little bit more tidier, so it's good to have some.
Yeah, they wanted it cleaned up and some safety calls in place, so cement and fly ash and things can't be put in the wrong area, and contamination. I think they've had some issues with some hoses that just get left open over there, and they've picked up some debris, and, they may have had some concrete failures or whatnot in the process, and they're like, hey, we want caps on these hoses. We want them clean. We want them dry. We want it. We want to be professional. We want it to look right. So that they're doing that, and the bulkers have all stepped up, and they're all doing a good job taking care of that. Yep. When I saw that shout out, I also wanted to add a shout out to Troy Holmes and also Chili Dog, because they just covered a 2 a.m. pour that they had at Central. That was a special pour that, man, it required a special cement that Troy went and got on Friday and preloaded. Chili Dog had to go over there and babysit a reefer full of ice, in case the plant broke down, and would be able to mobilize and take it to another plant. And just shout out to those guys, man. We asked them to be there, and they were there. And I know sometimes people think, well, what's so special about that? When there's people you can count on and there's people you can't, it's impressive, when you have people you can count on. And Troy and Chili Dog are two of those people.
Yep. Shout out to Casey as well for going over there and taking care of those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Good point there, Jam. And I want to mention too, you guys, when we're asked to do something by the customer, and I know it may not make sense, I know it may not even be correct, and you can have a small discussion, but what we've learned after all these years is when the customer asks you something, just do it. Jump in and do it joyfully, and then let's work on if it doesn't work or if there needs to be changes, because they're the customer. Me and Dave, we've talked about it. We've ran into it even on bids. And I know, like I said, we've talked about it, but when the customer wants the bid submitted electronically, I'm not going to complain and go, I can't, my email doesn't work.
I'm just going to mail it.
Yeah. Here it is in paper. That's not what they ask for, and does it make sense to us? Why can't you accept a paper bid? Why do you have to have it electronically? We could complain all we want it, and it's the same with the hoses. They want to clean it up. They want to make it safer. They want to do all this stuff. Do it their way, and then let's work on it and do it joyfully. Let's not discuss. Let's not go down that low road. Remember to take the high road when we're doing something with our customers.
Mm-hmm.
It's too important.
It's parallel with us saying, thank you, Chili Dog. Thank you, Troy. You're a couple of people we can count on. The customer wants to hire a company that they can count on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And they don't.
Yeah.
And, we finally had to put a little fire because I took a phone call from the big boss. And when I take a phone call from the big boss, when that just shouldn't happen. We have too good of people for it to reach back to me. And so, yeah, again, thank you guys for taking care of it. All the bulker guys and everybody, it's a team event, but we can polish how we do it.
And remember, don't forget to take care of your internal customers.
Yeah.
Right. You guys are all our internal customers, but we're also your internal customers. So when you're asked to do something to help the house, please do it joyfully as well.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Jim, you want to take the next one?
Yeah. I'll jump in there. Hey, Ricky, I know you listen to the podcast, really faithfully and stuff. And me and Dave just wanted to give you a shout out, buddy. We've mentioned you before. You got a smile. You got a good morning every day for us, both you and Teddy out there. And, the night mechanics, also the smile and the joy and stuff. But Ricky, I don't know how many times I seen you interrupted working on the Super Dump 107. I think it was 107. Getting the engine back in it.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a tough job when you're doing this and can you fix a flat? Can you go repair a hose? Can you do this? You're trying to build an engine.
Let me put this piston in. Well, I just got to fix a flat in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Never a good plan.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And so Ricky, and Teddy, if you help too, but Ricky, I know you're the main guy on it. You got the truck back together. I looked at it at one day and I'm like, we still got like a week left on this. And Mikey came in the next morning and goes, yeah, I got the tandem out of there. And I'm like, bullshit. I seen it. You didn't finish that, Mikey. And Mikey's like, yeah, Ricky got it together. I'm like, no way. And then the next day, Mikey was like, were you being facetious? And I'm like, no, I looked at it. There's no way you guys got it together. And Ricky did. So yeah, shout out, buddy. Thank you very much.
Good job, Ricky.
Yeah, you're awesome, Ricky.
Yeah.
I just want to add Sergio to that list as
sorry,
well.
yeah.
No, you're good, Jim. But I also have a special shout out for Sergio because he was all smiles this morning. He talked to his attorney and he got his 5-year work visa yesterday.
He did.
So
congratulations.
he's good to go.
Yeah.
That's
that's the stories when you do it right.
Right?
He's got his visa. He's here. He's paying taxes, working his ass off.
Yep.
Good for you.
It's my best friend.
he just falls in that group so well.
Yeah.
Always pleasant.
Good morning.
Just good. We're blessed with a lot of good peeps around here, man.
Sergio, though, I since, and we helped a little bit with your visa, congratulations on that. But that bike ain't going to work in a couple months.
Right.
I've just given you a heads up.
Right.
You're going to have to get some wheels with a heater in
it. Yeah.
That's funny. Shout out to Rick Colleen. We actually meant to shout him out last week, but thanks for being alert and also helping at the scene of the accident that you witnessed right in front of your bumper the other day.
Right.
Turns out that car rolled multiple times, maybe up to 10 times, and the guy came out all bloody, and Rick was there for all that. So
yeah, I mean, until I read that, Jam, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought he just went.
He just
shot out.
Ended up in the field.
Yeah.
No, he went for a ride. So great job, Rick, for not being on your phone and paying attention and getting on them brakes and doing all the things the right way.
Yeah, and Rick just looked in the mirror, to me, my interpretation of the video, and just touched the brakes just enough.
Yeah.
That car
that
to
split second reaction.
Yeah.
That and the little nudge that the other car gave. The timing was impeccable. Yeah, it was just like, gonna hit, brake, boop.
Yep. You couldn't have choreographed that.
No.
And it was.
No, that was
that
was a movie scene.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes when you think of that stuff, like, is that God's will? Is that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I did everything right.
5 seconds later,
Yeah.
Rick's in the middle of it. Rick's tangled up.
I need to apologize to Rick too, because when I took that call, I've taken some calls here, a lot of calls about accidents. And he called me, he's like, Jam, I think I might have been in an accident. I'm like, you think you might have been? Or something to that effect. Like, well, I just don't know if I made contact. I'm like, yeah, I've heard that one before. Thinking in my head, I was like, let me just pull the video. And then I see it. I'm like,
Holy shit.
I think you might have been in an accident too. But I don't know that you touched. Like, it was crazy.
You know what's impressive about those situations, and we've seen it time and time again here, and you get one or the other, and there's no good or bad to it. But what's cool about what I saw with Rick is, man, as fast as he could stop, those brakes were set, that seatbelt was off, and he was checking on that person.
Yeah.
He's got a huge amygdala.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. And I maybe I missed it, Jam, but I think David's accident and Rick's accident, or they didn't have an accident. Let me do that. But the videos of those accidents, can we send those out, or did you?
Oh.
And I missed them. Because Rick's is a really good, David's is a really good one too, to show because we were talking about the guy past him. When you see that, you're like, why? And then like we're talking about Rick's, we're like, oh my God, like Rick, you just said, was I or wasn't in an accident, right?
I could put both those out.
Yeah. It would be good. Thank you guys. Yeah. Good stuff for near misses.
Speaking of good stuff, this week's Drivers Doing It Right segment, we got 2 drivers on there. One is Brent Carter, and the other one is Carl Jadinger. So, good job, man.
Yeah, good job, you guys. Good to see everybody. Like, again, and that includes, looking out the back window, stopping on the scale, stopping for the stop signs.
Yeah, 10 seconds at Coors.
All that.
Yeah, good safety score. No phone use. 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 Did you hear that echo? No phone use. No phone use.
When did you guys start that?
Just the other day.
New.
Friday.
Started today.
Seems like it sometimes.
Right? Oh, you have a phone policy?
Did I sign that?
I didn't know.
No one told me. Sorry.
It was always like that.
It was in my hand when I got in the check. Did you guys have any other shout outs? I know I went to Drivers Doing It Right, but I didn't ask.
I do, Jam. Yeah.
Whenever I don't ask.
Isn't it? It is so true. Like when you put me on the spot, I don't have any.
Nope. Don't like
and when you don't ask, it's like, I got 3 more or whatever. Yeah.
Let's hear them.
I threw Sergio in already. He was one of my shout outs. And then I just wanted to read a shout out to Armando, the Sergeant Del Val, for his tips and tricks this week. Obviously, we haven't read it yet, but it's a good one, Armando. I love it. And also, my main point for your shout out is you've been off the last 2 weeks. I'm sure not everyone knows, but you're a reservist for the military. And I want to thank you for your service. I know we've talked about that before, but, we talk about being patriots and, here's a guy just trying to support his family, support his country, do the right thing. I mean, just all of these things. It's impressive. So thanks, Sarge.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, really good ones. Yeah. I just want to throw a shout out to Dad. You'll be missed listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Yep.
He always asks, did you send it out? And, I couldn't find it, or, and I know Ann copied him on it. I know you've helped, Jam, me and Dave's helped. And, I think obviously our biggest fan, he'll be missed. So quick shout out. And then, it's his passing was only yesterday, but I've had several people, Jam, you, Super Dave, the guys closest to us that had contact, Linda, the shout outs, how you doing, all that kind of stuff. Thank you guys. It's important to have that. And that's when that, the brotherhood, sisterhood, family, team, all that come together is in a moment of loss. And, even when you're going through something like Stingray being back. So yeah, shout out to everybody and thank you guys. And yeah, Pops, you'll be missed.
Amen. Any other shout outs? No.
God.
All right. Let's get into the discussion. This is from last week as well. Linda wanted mentioned to please contact dispatch if the grain is super wet and splattering out so we can let Coors know. It also helps us get help in cleaning it up if needed. There is a hose at the can where you can wash off grain before leaving. So, yeah, if we don't know about that
and then all of a sudden it just looks like a mess. It looks like we're just messy people,
Yeah.
you know?
I do want to add a little detail to that. And I liked how
about the splattering.
yeah, about the splattering. Just because Greg did a really good job, putting that in the notes for the night notes,
Great job.
And he actually had a technician come out and talk to him and said, hey, when it's like this, just like Jam asked, please let someone know. But here's the reason why. Not because it's making a mess. Obviously, we see it and we're impacted by it making a mess, right? But the ultimate reason why is for Coors, when it comes out that wet, there's something they didn't get from the product. And it's an ingredient or it's moisture content or it's whatever that they're paying for. It's part of their process. Their presses aren't working. They're not, that grain it's not designed to come out dry because that's how we need to haul it. It's designed to come out dry because they need all the liquid out of it to make their beer, to create their
capturing
brew.
a product.
Yeah, they're capturing a product. And when it's wet like that, guess what? They didn't capture it and we're just hauling it off. And it's making a mess, right? So it's all of these details, but we're actually helping them by telling them, hey, the grain is sopping wet. You're missing something,
So does that ruin the brew? Is that waste then? Like the brew they just did, is that garbage?
I don't know that it ruins it, Jam, but it obviously...
It shorts them on water.
This beer tastes like shit.
It's watered down.
Right?
Well, it's not watered
It's
down.
sure dry.
Is that a piece of grain in my tooth?
Yeah. Hand me 2 more. This one's dry.
It was just and like Dave said, Greg did a nice job describing that. And I didn't know that, that their process is not working. It's like our process.
Yeah.
It's not working.
I mean, how many years have we been hauling that now, Jim? Almost a decade?
Yeah.
And it's like, learn something new.
Somebody needs to know.
Never looked at it like that, right?
Yep, somebody needs to know. Yeah.
Yeah. And this guy was like ASAP.
Yeah.
And I tell you what.
We're just not doing our job.
Yeah. When you haul that, it's wet the minute you start to load.
Yeah.
You hear the sound, how it comes out.
Splattering.
Yeah, exactly. Dave versus just
and it might dry up just after it splatters, but this isn't.
No. We're hauling water.
Yeah. You're splattering it 20 feet from the truck.
And what's funny is I say we're hauling water. Whatever liquid that is, I'm sure there's some water in it, but yeah. Anyway.
So true.
Scooby wants to mention to wear your hard hat when you get out of the truck at Arcosa to get your ticket from Dale or whoever is loading. They have a new plant manager up there. It's no different than any other place we go. So please make sure you're wearing your hard hat. Not only that, but that is considered a mine. And MSHA is a little bit stiffer than OSHA even, I think. They don't play around.
No, and that fine's your fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It'll cost you money.
Yeah. And MSHA only stays in business if they if they put out fines.
Self-funded.
That's how they earn their money, is to fine you.
Man.
They're a government entity that only makes money if they fine you.
You get a fine, you get a fine, you get a fine. Everyone gets fined.
So they work hard to find something.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's kind of a bummer that we have to bring that back up, but there's a lot we talk about that we shouldn't have to bring back up. But like you guys said, why not do it there? You have to do it every place else, do it there. And I Erica's been hauling, recycled steel, and we've tried to haul the rebar off, and we've, made a few bucks going and recycling the stuff. And one of the recycling places she pulled into, she goes, there's a sign right out there, hard hats and vests required. And she said she threw her stuff on because she had it in her pickup and got out, and the lady in the scale was like, thank you so much for wearing your stuff. Erica was like, I don't even think she knew I had any metal on. She was just so happy I had my hard hat on. And Erica made the point that, I can't imagine what that lady tries to fight with people.
Oh my God.
It's the rule. Throw your hard hat and safety vest on.
Right.
That's at a metal recycling. And, Dave's talking about that's a mine. So just follow the rules. When the thing about this is when you follow the rules anymore, you stand out, and you shouldn't.
It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to stand out. Just do it the right way.
I was going to say she was probably the only person that had hard hat and safety vest on.
Right? Yeah, that's the way it seemed. Yeah. And so, it's just, come on, guys. We're guys and gals. We're, here's your little, nudge, keep up the good work. We can do it.
Yep.
Because it's the same on the next one, Super Dave, about the liners.
Yeah. So this actually got started last week. I was talking to Mikey and we were looking at a trailer that Sergio was working on, and the liner was old and it had the signature chew marks at the very end.
The shredding.
The shredding at the very end and stuff. But Mikey was asking, how could we increase the life of the liners, And I'm like, well, I don't know, but I know I got 6 years out of a liner one time. And then when they did pull it out to replace it, there wasn't even one little rock under it because I was so conscientious about it. When you get a chance, even if you're not loading anything special, but you're at like LG Firestone or something where they have a washout, wash it out and raise it up, put a shovel under the liner upside down so it holds it up, and then spray it out. There's just so many little things you can do. I call it housekeeping. It's just like housekeeping. We give you that little crowbar in the tool bag so you can flex your Z-strip, the metal strips that hold the liner on the sides, and allow rocks to fall out when you tug on it a little bit. And something that I've personally found out because I got trailer that had terrible Z-strips. Remember we got a bunch of trailers where the Z-strips were just
Giant gap.
Yeah. Well, if you keep those rock free and sand free religiously, the pressure of the material will straighten those out and push them back towards the plastic.
Yeah.
Because all day long, they're constantly under pressure. That won't happen if you leave a bunch of rocks under there.
Right.
In fact, the gap gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's simply house cleaning around the back of the liner, cleaning under those Z-strips, and taking care of the equipment, because if you do, it will take care of you.
Absolutely.
And you'll be able to haul salt. You'll be able to haul grain. You'll be able to haul red infield mix. I mean, instead of saying to dispatch, oh, I have a hole in my liner, I can't get cleaned out.
Yep, exactly. I love the word you use, Dave, and I mean, I have to emphasize it, the word flex. And the reason I get so nervous because we've had it happen so many times, you guys. We give you a pry bar, which bugs me.
You didn't like it when I put that in the bags, but I'm like, man, you got to clean out underneath that Z-strip.
I do, Dave, but I mean, it's kind of like our cell phone policy. We talk and talk and talk about it, and it just depends how it gets used, right, or applied. That pry bar is just to flex that aluminum away to get the material out, not to bend. No. I have to emphasize, flexing and bending something are two different things.
And you do that, and the 3/4 rock just falls out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, gently pry it away, flex it just a little bit, and it'll go right back into place. It's kind of like flexing your muscle. When you stop flexing, it goes right back in place, right?
Right.
Yeah. So we want it to go back in place. We don't want it bent out with that pry bar.
Sure.
Yeah, and the thing about that, I just remember yesterday we came from yard 23, and we'll probably go to preaching it when we get everybody over there. But I went slow across the railroad tracks right there as you're headed back west, and a UPS truck was headed at us, 35, 40 miles an hour, never even a brake light, nothing, jumped the railroad tracks. And I just told Dave, I'm like, it must be nice when it's not yours. All these years, because of the position we're in, everything here is mine and Dave's, and when you get the person that takes ownership of that, and we have such great people that a lot of the guys do take ownership of it here. And it's wonderful when they treat it as their own, Dave. And kind of like you said, the housekeeping, having your proper tools, and that liner is a tool. And, please, you guys, take ownership of it. Take ownership of putting your hard hat on, cleaning the liner out, taking a few minutes, and being part of the team, being bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
And
you saw the flag on that UPS truck, didn't you?
For the dumbass one, like at the race?
It was a rebel flag on the top of the cab, like the General Lee, because he dukes a hazard his ass over those railroads.
Those are some rough tracks, guys.
They are.
Yeah,
man.
Dave, and and obviously you guys know they're a little raised, that hump, and man, he did
diagonal.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah,
you know.
right.
I,
right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it almost could have been that he was going by the old adage, when we used to go out to
faster
Jones.
you go.
It was smoother because
Yeah.
the wheel never touched one of
I
the
stay
buttons.
on top of the washboard.
Yeah.
Oh, no
Oh.
shit.
Well, I got to tell a little story. You know that the ski jump on, you guys are on the left side coming from I-25. I come from Highway 36
Oh, yeah.
coming into work,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The left lane for me and it's the right lane for you guys. But there was a bobtail tractor the other day that was flying. I watched him in my mirrors from like Federal. And he was flying. I mean, I was going like 75 and he must have been going 80 because he was gaining on me the whole way. So I'm in the right lane and I get behind a couple cars because I am not going to go over that bump in the left lane.
Yeah.
He hit that thing, I swear, at like 70 miles an hour. And you and I, we all know how rough a truck rides without a trailer.
Yeah.
I wish I had a camera in that cab because that
Bet he
dude
about crashed.
he had to hit the ceiling. I mean it.
Yeah.
It was just
Yeah.
crazy, and it didn't slow him down a bit. He pushed cars out of his way all the way down 270.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is not getting better. I mean,
Yeah,
clearly it's not until they do some construction.
Right.
Yeah.
We just talked about you, Super Dave, Monday morning or something, because we came through there, just like you're saying, coming off I-25 in our right-hand lane. And I slowed up. Nobody was behind me. I slowed up and 40's about a good speed. For
Yes.
and,
Max.
Yeah.
and you're holding people up if somebody's behind you.
Oh, yeah.
But Dave, we merged with the people coming off Boulder Turnpike where you're coming from. This F-150 passed me and Dave right there at like 70 miles an hour. And he didn't slow up. And I told Dave, how is he even in the road?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I was just like, holy smokes. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy.
I want to talk about blackout dates.
Is that your favorite subject, Jim?
Man, I feel like it needs to keep being brought up because it continues to be an issue.
Yeah, that's especially this time of year. We're battling, we're busy, and
maybe you guys can help me because I try to not take things personally, right? But if a date's blacked out and somebody says, well, I don't give a shit, I'm going to take the day off anyway, how do you deal with that?
yeah, that's
Well,
I
then-
mean, there are those cases, Jam, that, it requires a conversation because there are things that come up. And even if it's a mistake on someone's part where, you got a child event or something that, hey, yeah, I was told about it. I screwed up. I just realized it's tomorrow.
Right.
Is there an opportunity you could work with this instead of take the whole day? Do you need the whole day for the event, or whatever, I mean, we know life gets in the way. We all know we're not perfect and stuff like that, but I guess the ask is to try,
Yeah.
right? To try and be better.
yeah. But I think I gotta the rudeness of I'm going to take it anyway.
Yeah.
If we had that attitude around here with how we treated our people,
Yeah. Or our customers or whatever.
yeah, you couldn't do it. And I think that's the fairness you want, Jam, the consideration where you end up taking it personal.
Well,
I mean,
Yeah.
because it wears on you. I'm not saying you do.
it makes me like hold on to a little bit of hate in my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
it's-
I don't want to do anything for that person.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I don't want to. You need help with something. You don't want to help us. Like, why would I want to help you?
Mhm.
But I
Right.
try to take the high road, and we're still who we are, and we still got to help people,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, it's just like, man, when there's a slow day around here, I mean, who should have the day off? The people that don't care about blackout dates, or the people that show up every day?
Yeah.
Are you making a list?
I have a mental list.
Checking it twice.
It's in my heart.
Uh-huh. It's tattooed on your heart now,
Yeah.
Jim.
But anyway, blackout dates, I don't mind you asking to take a look because sometimes things change and there is a little wiggle room. I forget who it was the other day, came up to me. Listen, I know this date's blacked out. Is there anything you could do for me? Can I get off at 2:30 or 3? That I could probably help somebody out with.
Mhm.
But when you're like, I want early off, and it's like, well, what time? 9? It's like, you want the day off. Yeah, that's
Right.
not early off. So, and then the 7 days notice. I mean, that's the one thing that I do have a little bit more flexibility with if there's room, and dispatch hasn't already gone out, but like asking me for a blacked out date that's tomorrow, just really isn't how it works, you
Mhm.
know? So I do try to give people alternatives. I will tell them the next dates that are available. I just had a driver the other day, couldn't approve his time off of the day he wanted, and I found a different day for him. And he's like, oh, well, it's okay. I was like, well, why don't you request this day just in case you need it? And now you have a day where you could definitely go get done what you need to get done.
Yeah.
Instead of hoping for the best, you know what I
Right.
mean? But please respect that. The other thing I wanted to talk about, since I've been driving more often right now, is these drip trays. You got to check behind these drip trays. I brought it up 2 times in the last probably 6 weeks, but it seems more times than not that there is rock stuck behind a drip tray. And that's just a good way to break a window.
Yep.
You know, I was talking to Kendrick,
And who takes those complaint calls, Jim?
myself and JR. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And a lot of times, let's say you were empty and they're like, oh, your truck, broke my windshield. And it's like, well, that truck's been hauling sand all day and it happens to be empty at the time that you're claiming we broke your windshield. But then you have 3/4 inch rock stuck behind the drip tray. There's a good chance we did break that windshield.
Right?
Yep. We
Right.
just paid for a windshield the other day. We tried to get it fixed and we couldn't. So we had to replace it. One guy wanted $500. Angels ended up doing it for $3.
Did they? Nice. Good,
yeah.
Jim.
Big
I'm glad
savings.
that was worth the call, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, big savings.
Yeah.
Kind of sucked for Angels because they did it all the way in Firestone, and then when they were installing the window, when it was all done, they cracked it.
Ah,
So they had to do it twice.
Oh man.
that's
Yeah.
a bummer.
Yep.
Well, that's why there's the professionals.
Yes. Yes. Yep. But the lady was satisfied. I mean,
Good.
They came back, they took care of it, everything was good.
Good deal.
So,
Glad to hear it.
all right. Next on the list is JR brought up to our attention that there's been changes in Samsara. And this is actually pretty cool. Oh, he actually sent a video. We can't watch that now, though. So in Samsara, when we send you, it used to be we would send you a video and you would watch it and we'd be able to tell that you watched it. But now we're able to send you notes and remarks and stuff like that. And there's actually a push notification you'll get, not just to your text message, but the app will send you a push notification. You could get an email and then you could review that event and look at our notes from there. The other thing is if you're not watching your events, it will not allow you to proceed in the app. So when you go to log in, the first thing that's going to come up is events that you haven't watched.
Ah,
So that's going to help a lot with our coaching.
it's imperative to get better. I know not everyone's football fans, right? And I don't know how many other sports do it, but you see it every weekend or every football game. At some point, a quarterback goes out or any of the other football players, I've seen linemen do it and stuff, but they make a play or they finish their series and they come back and they sit down and they grab the little iPad or whatever device they're using and they look at what they did to realize, oh
Right.
shit, I screwed up. If I don't do that, this will make me better. Those are people that are trying to perfect their craft.
Right.
Are we sending this to you to rag on you? No, we're sending it to you to help you be better. We're sending it to you to help you perfect your craft. Our goal here is safety. And this is the number one aid to help you be better.
Yeah, you got to realize we're not on opposite teams.
Right.
Good
it's point,
not.
Jim.
Yeah, it's not. Management and safety against drivers. We're all in this together.
Yes.
And these coaching opportunities are a time for you to get better.
Yes.
The workload, the amount of videos that we got to go through and watch and send out and coach people on is a lot. So this self-coaching feature, JR did write a couple other things, which I really like. After you log into Samsara, it goes straight to your events and allows for self-coaching and or for the driver to dispute the event. So now you get to look, and if you don't feel it's right, you could tell us, hey, I want to dispute this.
Sure.
And then we could go over it, and either A, you're right, this isn't accurate, or B, this is why it is accurate.
Mm-hmm.
When they click to acknowledge the event, it marks it as coached on the manager's end, so we don't have to, right? So the way it was set up is, Jim, you were following too close. I see that. It's legit. I send you the video of you following too close. You don't look at your phone for 2 weeks, and that video just sits there. Okay, Jim, you need to watch this video. Otherwise, we're going to have to pull you in and sit you down to have a coaching meeting so you learn how to not to follow clothes. Oh, okay, I'll watch it. Now I go in Samsara and I see that you watched it. Now I can mark it as coached. The new system, okay, Brother Dave, I send you your following too close event. You watch it. You agree that it wasn't 4 seconds or 2 seconds. You hit acknowledge and it goes away. Now we don't have to go back.
Nice.
It actually is going to
That's
save
great.
the coaches quite a bit of time.
That's great.
So that is great.
Yeah, Samsara is, I mean, I know that we had that other brand and we were stuck on Samsara, but man, they sure seem to just keep growing.
To me, they're the leaders of the industry.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
it's
they're
hard.
yeah. Good.
Yeah, thanks for sending me that video, by the way.
You're welcome. Please.
It was awesome. I reviewed it, and I didn't think I was following that close, so thanks for pointing it out, and I'll do better.
Nice. And how are you going to do better?
I'm going to back off.
Okay. Do you know how to count your following distance?
I do, from a stationary object that the car in front of me passes, and I need to be, to me, at 55, I need to be at least 4 seconds. That'd be great.
Because it just seems like you really like to be about 0.8 seconds everywhere you go.
Well, that's a habit I have to break because that's not very safe, is it?
Nope. Don't try
I've
to
been
break
doing
it.
it for 20 years like that and haven't crashed, but it's probably not the best habit to have, right?
Don't try to change it. Just change it.
Gonna do it. Gonna do it.
All right.
I'll make it happen.
You guys want to get on the med card discussion?
Yeah. Just right quick. The CMC sent out an advisory deal they do once a month, I think it is. But anyway, there's a lot of talk, and I just start talking about the confusion, or if there is any confusion. When you guys go in and get your med cards, they're not going to be sent to the state anymore, or the medical person is going to send it directly to the feds, and then it'll be in the database. But I think the reason the CMC was sending it out is there's not a requirement to carry a paper card anymore. It will be all electronic.
Yep.
You will not need to carry a paper card. But the article suggested that you can still request the paper card and carry the paper card. Our suggestion is I would continue to carry the paper card, or maybe your med card isn't up yet, and have that in your wallet and stuff. But in the future, it's all going to be electronic. Your DOT physical doctor will go over that. They'll report it to the feds. It will be in the system, and it should be better for all of us, or a simpler system where they'll know whether you got a med card or not. Won't be a doubt. But
and they are the ones that will electronically transmit the exam results directly to the state.
Yep. And I think that's a win for us all. And again, back to being, electronic, a step up in things. So it'll be some changes there. And I think everybody needs to be aware of that and keep talking about that.
Yeah. So I guess because there has been some confusion recently, because we did send out a notice, like, I think it was the driver had to do it. Now they don't have to do it.
Yep.
So I would say really find out from your whoever's doing a medical exam of, are they doing it? Are they not doing it? And how do you follow up to make sure it was done?
Yeah.
Right.
And we're basically telling you from the CMCA that they are supposed to do it.
Right.
If they're telling you, like you just said, Jam, if your guy or gal tells you no, that's not right. There's something you need to check into it.
And then if they do give you a paper copy, even though you don't have to hold on to it, I'd probably hold on to that until you know that it's in the database where it needs to be.
Yep.
So.
Absolutely. Hey, and then we want to get a little political with you guys, and I'm the one that's been talking to Dave about this. There's a special voting session in the state of Colorado here in August. They brought the legislators back in, and they're you guys will see it and will be asked to vote on it. And they're asking to raise the taxes for the roads. And when you see
Because they're broke.
Yep. When you guys see that, I want better roads. I don't want our trucks beat up by the roads. I'm tired of driving on the roads. But please do not vote to have your taxes raised again. There are so many taxes that already go for the roads that your legislators steal and use for other places. Please, when this special vote comes in, talk to your friends, your family, your neighbors. Do not vote yes on this, because they're just going to raise your taxes. And then there's no guarantee that when they do this will go for the roads again. Us personally as a customer, as a company, and like I can tell you right now, God rest Dad's soul. He's told us for years, we pay into a road fund, and they take the money out of there and they put it in the general fund and they use it for everything else but the damn roads. And it's been that same way his whole entire life, my and Dave's whole entire life. I mean, we've told you repeatedly that Polis got all these funds from the federal government to fix our roads, and he took the money out, which we believe is illegal, and used it for green energy. So now, because they're broke, just like Brother Dave just said to me, Colorado is broke, they want to tax you to fix their roads when they've used their money that they have already irresponsibly.
And
Big
so, time, Jim.
Yeah, so please, you guys, when you see this vote come in, I want my road.
I hope we get to vote on it.
Yeah, I hope so too. It's not just passed. Yeah, and I could be telling that part incorrectly, but I'm just saying, anybody you talk to, do not do this. They waste your money on the stuff where it's not supposed to go. So, when you hear this come up, again, talk to everybody you can. Don't let them hurt you some more by raising your taxes when they've already raised your taxes
and not fix the roads more.
Yeah. I mean, we just
they added a bridge and road tax on license plates 5 years ago, right? Not enough money. Yep. The little 18 cents on every Amazon delivery, however many tens of millions of dollars that collects, that's supposed to go to the roads. It doesn't.
How about the marijuana stuff? Supposed to go to your schools and roads and stuff.
Right. Senate Bill 260 that the feds gave us all this stinking money for, and Polis put it in solar farms and windmills, instead of putting it on the road. So, and keep in mind, you guys, we've been paying road tax since like 1922, when the federal government decided, oh my gosh, I guess automobiles are here to stay. We need some roads instead of horse paths to get from state to state. And that was when they put the first the first tax on gas. And they've been doing it for over 100 years now. Hold them accountable to a budget. Don't let them piss our money away. Let them make them be more responsible.
Yeah, hold them to that budget. And when they don't get held to a budget, they just tax you some more. And so basically, they're just stealing your some more if you don't hold them to a budget. So, yeah, please, you guys, pay attention. It's not right. Yep.
Thanks, Jim. It's kind of a shout out or going back a little bit, but speaking of the road, so James Koger, he's a listener of the podcast. Yeah. I believe it was Showtime's buddy. He writes in all the time. Good dude, always adds podcast stuff and sends me his dad jokes sometimes, and just we need to give him a call one of these days. Anyway, he said, morning Jam and JFW family, I love the new poster for the podcast. It's not as plain as the original one, LOL. Don't know if you guys come to New Mexico, but anyways, all major highway that a commercial vehicle travels on, you cannot exceed 65 miles an hour. I'll send you the link to the article. It started back on July 1st. And I did look this up this morning, so I didn't put it in the outline because it looked like, on what I was seeing, is that bill died.
I was hoping it died. I didn't know they voted it in.
Yeah, so it looked like it died to me, James. We may want to double check that, but you could probably do 75 if you want.
Yeah, that was one congressman that was pushing that, and of course, like the ATA and all those guys, they were really against it, Jam, because of the they believe it's unsafe because there's this group of trucks doing this speed, and it infuriates the public, and they're trying to go around us and whip in and out and do all that stuff, and it just causes more problems.
Yeah,
and I know that was and again, I asked you, I think me and you talked about it, or maybe it was me and you, Dave. And that was on an interstate highway, which was federal, and I didn't think a state could control that way. But that's a different story. But
yeah, different story, different state, and it is kind of confusing because I know right now, just a couple weeks ago, they did kill because the old leadership here for the nation was pushing a 55 mile an hour speed limiter for all trucks. Period. Yep. And when Trump came in, he was like, "Yeah, no effing way. You'd cripple supply chain if we were stuck at 55. Right. Now they can't run 80, right? But we can't be stuck at 55.
Yep.
So they nixed that. That's That's out the window. That's like electric trucks. Not going to happen for a while.
Yeah, I don't know if there was any like data-driven facts, Jim, but yeah, I've always heard the speed limits are more dangerous, to have, because you got to think if, and they're going to enforce it on the trucks more, because the Buckeye State, Ohio, used to be 55 for trucks, and if you did 56, you would get pulled over by Ohio State Trooper, and they are not friendly at all.
Gotcha.
Yep,
Gotcha.
I've had this happen to me. But yeah, and then you got cars that have a 65-mile speed limit, but they're probably doing 75, and now they're coming up on traffic doing 55. It's just a bad deal.
Yeah. There's a big difference there, isn't there?
Yep. For this week, we decided to try to give Chris Beam a call for a JFW driver mini interview. Let's see if we could get him on the line.
Awesome. Ask him all the good questions, huh, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. What's up, Chris? Not much. We want to give you a call on the podcast and ask you some questions. I love the enthusiasm. Chris, how long have you been driving?
Since 99.
Long time. Man, that's a long time. Same here. What's your favorite thing about driving?
The window shopping.
Yeah.
If you can hear me, Chris, I missed that.
And what do you like to do in your free time, Chris?
In my free time, try to get out on the motorcycles with my fiance. Just get up to the mountains, hit the curves and stuff.
Brother Dave was just saying that you make it all over the state.
Yeah.
You do a lot, concerts and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, we try to get out. Sam likes to go. So it's what we do.
Nice. If you were the host of this podcast, what would be something that you would want to address?
I don't know. It's hard to say. You guys cover a lot, but people holding each other's hands at pits and stuff.
Okay.
I wish drivers would just get loaded and go instead of wait.
Gotcha.
It just builds up traffic once you get to your destination.
No.
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. And if you could master any skill, what would it be and why?
Any skill? Probably like a master mechanic, just so I could not pay somebody else to do everything.
I like that. Heck yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What's the most embarrassing thing that has ever happened to you in public?
One time I was fueling just my personal vehicle. I went inside, came out and took off, and I did not pull out the hose from the...
Wow.
So I ripped off the hose. Luckily, it was a quick release, but...
Nice. How far did you get?
Look around, and it's not good.
Did you catch it right there, or did you drive down the road?
Oh, yeah, immediately.
Oh,
So
okay.
did everybody else in the park.
Gotcha. That's funny. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen the video. There's a video of a guy trying to chase down a girl, and she's like, I have a boyfriend. He's like, yeah, me too. But you're dragging the hose from the fuel pump.
Right?
Yeah.
So funny. All right, my man. Well, thanks for the call. Well, thanks for answering, I should say. You too.
Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Have a good day.
All right.
Good guy right there. Always is a different thought, and he's not afraid to share it with you, and make us better is what I mean.
Sure.
There's good stuff there. Thanks,
We've had
Chris,
some good ideas.
for all your help.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. I know this is probably going to be asked every week, but since we're building, any Yard 23 updates?
We poured the last of the footer today.
Mm-hmm.
We'll start some curb and gutter for sure this week on the south end of the offices, getting the dirt to grade all around the south end. Basically, that whole, I'll call it the parcel from Forest Street all the way to the east. They're planning on fence going up on that against ASAP in a week and a half or 2 weeks. And yeah, I mean, they should be close to start forming for the floor.
Wow.
Yeah. First,
We passed plumbing inspection.
Yep, first plumbing inspection.
So the floor drain inspection was good. And
Nice.
yeah, I mean, it's time to finish buttoning up. They'll button up the rest of the backfill on the footer. I mean, I would guess this week we should be done with that for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the crews will be in to start forming the floor.
Yeah. And like we just talked with Superior in there boring and
Oh yeah, set the transformer by
set
next
the transform-
Friday is what he's hoping.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we'll have, poles will be coming down,
After that,
it'll be really it'll become normal but the first like couple weeks without the poles in there and the lines, that's really going to stand out. It's going to open it up. And and then to start the curb and gutter at the south end, like Dave just said, I'm getting so excited. I mean, it's going fast. Drew is really on top of it, our general contractor, but now it can't go fast enough.
Right.
I'm just like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? What's next? What's next?
Right?
Who's doing what?
I feel like the dirt work, kind of took a long.
It was painfully slow.
Yeah, like just
yeah.
That process is slow, and now I think once that floor goes in, shit's gonna happen quick.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then we talked. I don't think it was before last week's podcast, but we talked to the floor guy, is what we go to the panel guy, tilt up guy. We keep talking about him, but when that big crane is in there. And he's going to walk it around and stand up all the walls and do all that and get all the bracing in. Yeah, it's going to be so lots going on.
And
so
that crane is 11 truckloads.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's how big that crane is.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and basically walk it around in 2 weeks, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that's exactly what will happen because the crane's there.
Wow. So 2 weeks, all the walls are up.
Yeah. And they only really have to, and I said 4 days, but they let the walls sit a week, right, Dave, is what they said basically, is all they really have to.
Yeah.
But they could set them up in 4 days on the fourth morning. And Dave was joking with me. He goes, that's really only 3 days.
It is.
If they can pour them and set them on the fourth morning, they're sitting there 3 days.
Yeah.
And the guy also said that they really don't have to put any steel in them. They do put steel in them, but they don't have to put any steel in them, Jam. They could just pour them on the ground and stand them up. That's how resilient concrete really is, and the chemicals. And it's just a basic 4,000 PSI mud.
mix.
Really?
Nothing fancy.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you're describing, I would describe as 3 days in a wake up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You got it. And we were all joking because he's using his guy for the floor, but their floors, or those floors, are our walls. That's how they'll look. So if the floor's not good, the wall's not going to look good, because the floor is the form.
Gotcha.
And in fact, they were talking about how many gallons of release agent. So they'll come in, spray the floors, pour all that, and then stand it up. And how the floor looks is how our wall looks.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That floor is going to be an amazing process, because when they get in there with the power screeds and, screed the concrete, and then, the power trowel finishers that they ride on.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to have some 2-fan or 4-fan ride on polishers that get out there and finish the concrete. And
Drew said, if you ever seen those, and I mean, kind of from a distance, but we'll be there for the whole process. Start early. And he says it's kind of like NASCAR. They're going to get racing around there and screeding that off.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I saw a pickup truck pulling a pretty good size gooseneck trailer the other day with 4 of them on there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like just big fans that they sit on top of, really.
Yeah. Yeah. So, next week's update should be totally done with the footing, and maybe have the transformer in and forming the floor. It would be very good.
I think it'll be close, because he said he was going to try and set the transformer Friday.
I thought he said anywhere between the week, Dave, Monday, but Friday at the latest. You're right. I know.
Maybe he said the goal was to have it in by Friday. Maybe that's what I heard.
That's in 2 days. Or
next Friday, Jim.
Yeah.
7 days in a wake up.
Yeah.
Like Jim said, when they yank those telephone poles out, it's just going to pop. And what I mean by it's just going to be open.
Right.
You're just going to cruise in there and be like, what's different? It's so it's just big and open then, and you wouldn't think a couple poles and a couple little lines between them would make that big a difference. But when you drive down that street, they're horrible. Horrible.
This building is going to improve the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's modernizing that little piece of forest. You know what I mean? It's like
we're increasing our neighbors' property value big time, Jim.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. And the neighbors, kind of quick little shout out, whether they're the renters or the owners or whatever the property, all our neighbors have been fantastic so far too, meeting with us. And we met with one of the managers that manages the couple of lots. Dave met with oh, I can't spit out his name.
Lawrence Brink.
Yeah, Lawrence Brinks that used to own Brinks Towing, but owns the property around there. And like Dave said, we're putting, and they've offered to, help pay for fences and stuff, and new fencing, new curb and gutter, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's definitely, it's going to be the place. Be awesome.
It will be.
And we'll keep saying that for the next 10 months. And I'm going to keep calling 10 months.
Okay. You're already down to 10.
Got to be positive.
I thought we needed 12 from like about here.
Well, we were around 15.
That's funny. Like just 10 months. That's how long I'll have my Invisalign on. So that's going to be.
When you get those off, we'll have
be in the new building.
That's perfect, Jim.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have straight teeth for the photo.
Yep.
Perfect.
We'll have a drink upstairs to celebrate both.
What? That's awesome. All right. Safety topic of the week. Brake Safety Week 2025 is scheduled for August 24th to August 30th and will be conducted by the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance, the CVSA, across the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The focus this year will be on the condition of brake drums and rotors. Inspectors will be looking for cracks, wear, and other damage that could affect braking performance. Isn't it always brakes? I feel like it's always brakes.
I think they're
It
pretty
is a lot.
important.
They are important, but it's like they should just call it Brake Week
Yeah.
instead of.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I want to add to the safety topic of the week before we jump into tips and tricks.
Okay.
It feels like it's become a reoccurring event that we're seeing more and more and more trailers leave with the self-inflation light on.
Yeah.
And we get everyone telling us, it's always done that since I've had the trailer. And, it goes out when I get on Quebec or I get on I-70 or at I-70 in Vasquez or whatever, you know what I mean? Whatever the case may be, 270 in Vasquez or, I-70, whatever the case may be. You guys, if you're to the point you've hit the street out of our yard and that self-inflation light's on, you've got a low tire. Fact. Like we've been pulling them down now and, please get with myself or Scooby has become an aficionado on it. We will pull those hoses off of the tires and we'll just leave them overnight. We'll gauge them in the morning. And I guarantee you, we're going to find that low tire. It's going to be low.
It happened to Rico today.
Yep.
Because he pulled all of his airlines off of Ford
Yep.
tires and he had a low
Yep.
tire today.
Yeah. Now, I'm not telling you that light might not come on when you start the truck for a few seconds or a few minutes.
Huh.
I mean,
Should
but
go-
by the time you hit the street, it
Yeah,
should be out.
especially in the wintertime.
You shouldn't be driving
colder.
past us with that light on, period. And we need to find it. It needs fixed. We can't run with the premise that it's always been like that. Something's wrong. And that light is there. I made the analogy the other day. That light is there telling us, hey, hello, something's wrong. Light's on. Something's wrong. Right? What's the purpose of the light? To tell us something's wrong. So let's get it fixed. And
Yeah.
we can help you with that.
I had an interesting one yesterday, guys, and that's I had a low super single and the light never came on.
Oh, wow.
And I dumped. And by the time I saw that tire was squatting pretty low,
Yeah.
like I was at that point of no return and I was
Yeah.
like, I sent it, but got back over here. There was only 35 pounds in it.
Wow,
And
Jim.
the light-
Scary.
The light never came on.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So did we determine why?
Ricky tested it. He changed the tire. He tested it and the light came right on. So Mikey said maybe it was coming out so slow that it didn't spin something or I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Because so everyone knows, I mean, we have a deal to test those and you don't even have to, years ago to test the light, we used to have to take the line off of the tire,
Oh, yeah.
a pair of pliers.
Right.
And you need to take your fingernail or a pocket knife and stick in the Schrader valve. And now there's just a valve right on right there next to the control box.
Yep.
And I know Kendrick points that out, but you guys should be testing that light. I mean, almost on a daily basis, and it takes nothing to test it. You can sit right there and press that button or push that little piece, that little Schrader valve, or open it.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a twist open valve. Is it not, Jim?
I thought it's push.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, you should educate yourself on how to do that.
It is
You
a
just
push.
twist
One or
it
the other.
open and the light comes on.
Right.
And that needs to be with your trailer brakes released over 90 PSI, tractor brakes set,
Right.
but trailer brakes have to be released. Truck needs to be, the key at least needs to be on. I suggest just truck running.
Yeah.
So it continues to build air because you need to be over 90 PSI. So anyway, test those lights, you guys. We go over this. Kendrick goes over this in class and we have them there for a reason. So
I believe the trainers talk about it as well.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it used to be, I mean, you just wouldn't leave the yard if that light was on.
Yeah.
No, now it's...
It's become a norm, hasn't it,
Yeah.
Jamming? We
And-
just need, if a light's on, we just need to stop, undo those hoses, and find which tire it's airing.
Now, I will say, and I know that this has nothing to do with the system, but I was at Fairplay the other day, 0039's coming out, and his auto inflation light is going on. He's like, hey, you know, you got a leak? You got a flat tire? What's going on? He's like, no, every time I load, that light comes on. And I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense. That has nothing to do with the system. Well, I drove 0039 the next day, and sure as shit, as soon as I started loading, that light started going on.
So, Jam, is it pulling one of the trailers that has one of our stupid valves on
That's
it that's
exactly
connected?
what I asked.
It could be, but
Jam didn't have any problems with the axle. The minute he loaded in the front and the axle dropped.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so because I asked him the same thing, Dave. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah,
Because they're nothing. That's nothing.
They are not supposed to be tied together, but
Exactly.
inevitably they are. Somehow, some way, we need to just take that trailer and friggin' down it. Do you remember what trailer number it is?
I could find out from the driver.
We need to just
we
down
fix
that
it.
thing, and it needs fixed, period.
Cool.
So-
So we just have a different valve we throw in them.
Whatever the problem is, the systems are tied together. That's gonna take some involvement to
Okay.
figure it out, but it needs figured out. Enough's enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Tips and tricks with Armando, the Sergeant of Valve. Number 13, challenging yourself. I love it already.
Lucky 13.
Whoa. We'll call it 14 or 12 point.
Good to have you back,
Yeah.
Armando.
Yes. Good morning, JFW family, and welcome back to another week of tips and tricks. Please remember that the purpose of these tips and tricks are just ways for us to be helpful, better, and safer drivers on the road. Let's be JFW professionals. Let me drive how I drive. You just worry about yourself. Mind your own business. I'm a driver, not a mechanic. I drive better without the camera. I don't want to get an extra load. Wow, Mondo, you don't want to do anything.
Well, I tell you, that's the low road right there. Huh?
These are the most common reasons why drivers have problems working here at JFW. I know because I was like that when I first started. I was in a room full of safety leaders, and I was basically getting coached by all of them for something stupid I did. I had to challenge myself to be better if I ever wanted to continue working here at JFW. Forget everything that you were taught before coming to JFW. Working with JFW is not like working with another trucking company. We set the standards in this industry. We got to start using the tools that are given to us to be successful. These trucks will take care of you as long as you take care of it. If your safety score is down because of severe speeding and you want to improve, use cruise control. Let your truck do all the work. It will stay in the speed you set it at and will also slow you down if your vehicle in front of you is going slow. You can also increase your following distance in cruise control. If you set it to the minimum, it will start keeping you at least 2 seconds away from the vehicle in front. Limit your speed on limit mode. If you don't know how to use it, ask one of us and we will be happy to show you. Limit mode is setting your truck to only go the speed you set it at to go, but with this, you'll have to keep your foot on the accelerator. Basically, you're setting your truck to be governed at the speed you set it in. I actually used that a lot over at Fort Lupton yesterday in the pit. Just set it to 15. Now I know I'm not going with 15 miles an hour.
Isn't that awesome,
Yeah.
Jam?
And it's
Yeah.
quick to set, right, Jam? Really?
Yeah, the only thing is if you have it on, let's say you were on Highway 85 and you had it set to 69 because the speed limit's 65 and you don't want to get that moderate speeding. When you get to the pit, you have to turn it off and turn it back on and it'll start at the speed you're at. Otherwise, you got to feather it
That
down all
dial it
the way from
down.
69. Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. Start using.
And not all the trucks have those. I know the last 33 that we bought, and I think the 16 before that have that, but the 40 Kenworths do not, or
Yeah,
black
frames.
like 30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the red frames. Yeah,
Yeah.
Have to
exactly.
have it.
Should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, you'll see you'll have your cruise control and your limit switch all right there on your left paddle or thumb.
Nice.
As well as on the steering wheel.
So the next batch of trucks we buy, can we get like white frames so we know we got black frames, red frames, white frames?
Each
It's just-
each model change.
I can't tell you how many times I use that reference.
Red
Yeah,
frame.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Red frame,
Yeah.
black
I
frame.
think the next reference will be the Freightliners
Not the Volvos?
or the Volvos.
Okay. Start using your engine so Armando continues. Start using your engine brakes to feel your truck slowing down. Doing this will help you know when to apply your engine brakes and keep you from using your brake pedals. This will also improve your score. Get to know your parts around the truck. The mechanics aren't always going to be there to fix your truck. If it's something that we can do, it's up to us to fix the problem and keep on trucking. If you would like to know parts of the truck, I'm sure any mechanic would love to show you. Finally, the camera. Every driver's worst enemy. Let me tell you all that when I first came here, I was 100% against the camera. A lot of drivers left because of it. I hated that the camera always gave me a following distance alert. It always gave me harsh brake alerts, and it always gave me sharp turns and rolling stops. Did a lot of drivers leave because of the cameras? I don't think a lot of drivers left. I think maybe 2.
Maybe that's
more than that.
an undertone out there too, Jim.
Oh, could
Yeah,
be.
they left back with the Geotab cameras.
Okay. I always blame the camera, but at the end, it was always making those errors. It was always me making those errors. So I challenged myself to make a change. I started using these tools so that I wouldn't be getting any alerts. It didn't improve overnight, but in months I was getting better, and I was at the 90 in safety. I hated the camera, but damn, that little device helped me become a better driver than a 30-year veteran trucker. I threw everything away of how I was taught trucking and started doing it the JFW way, and it's a lot better being a JFW professional driver than just a professional driver. And challenge yourself to get that extra load every day. At the end, we got to keep moving to be successful. Challenge yourself to be better by using the tools JFW provides. Know your truck and your equipment. We out here to help you. Please let me know on Connect Team what you think about this week's tips and tricks. And thank you all again for listening and the positive feedback. Let's start doing it. Let's start doing things the JFW way. Until next week, Armando Sergeant Duval, 0073. Together, we can be better.
Yeah.
Nice job, Armando.
Right on,
Way to go,
Armando.
Armando.
I love hearing it from a driver,
Mm-hmm.
instead of us just keep preaching and preaching.
Yeah, so true.
Well, Soup, what do you think? Hit us with that high road hauling?
Yep. I think Armando gets it. You know,
He does.
he just put it so well in that tips and tricks that, sure, the cameras, it's funny too, the people that did quit, 5-6 years ago, whenever we got that first batch of cameras, I guarantee you they're driving a truck that has a camera in it now. Because that was the beginning of the wave, so to speak, when fleets started doing that. And in the end, it's all about liability.
Yeah. I don't know, Dave, that they're driving with the Samsara cameras that are educating them. They may just have like a dash cam.
Well,
you know
But
what I mean?
there is a
but-
camera.
Yeah.
I did an interview yesterday, and this person drives for Amazon, company driver, not a leaser, not a contractor.
Yeah.
And I guess they use a type of camera, Netrodyne, Jan.
Yeah.
And boy, they're the same as Samsara. They've got all these metrics. They've got all this, just like this. And I think that's industry norm.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of guys, because it used to be when we first started with Surfsight and people found out we had cameras, I feel like people didn't take the job because we had cameras.
Happened a lot. Yep.
But now it's so normal. I don't think people are like, oh, you have cameras? I don't want to work here because
No.
you go down the road, they're going to have cameras too.
Yeah.
I ask, are you used to having a camera in your truck? And you know what they say?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 5 years ago, my point of view on it, and it's just my opinion. 5 years ago, they heard the words camera and didn't want to be watched. Right. Today's camera, it's not watching you, it's coaching you.
Right.
The camera from 5 years ago, it just recorded. That was it. It's just a video. Right. And we've had people quit today because of the cameras. But when I say loosely camera, because they can't do it.
Right.
It's
They're not
coaching.
capable of adhering. These are people with like a 58 safety score and their efficiency of 39. They are not capable of doing the job. They can't do it. And it's too much pressure. So they've left. And we use the word, or they use the term, I can't do it because of the cameras.
Huh.
Well, that's a problem. Then if you can't do our minimum, you shouldn't be driving for anyone.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah.
So-
The camera's a partner now.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
not just taking your picture.
Yeah. Like Jam said earlier, Jim, we're here to help you.
Yeah.
That camera is here to help you.
Yeah,
You know,
and
and I kind of am shocked and cringe at the same time. But when Armando states that, he said when they first put the cameras in, how did he state it? I forget which page it's on because that was a 3-pager we just read. But it always told me to, where was it at? When it said told me to slow down,
not
told me I
close
was
to-
going too fast in the
Yeah.
corner, told me a harsh break.
He said, I always blame the camera, but at the end, it was always me making those errors.
Absolutely, Jam. The camera is there to coach you and help you be better.
Right.
We've said it and said it and said it and said it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
When I see an alert, so when I see, and this happens with following distance a lot, I see the alert, and you could tell when the alert goes off because there's a red bar at the bottom of the wave there. And then you see the driver's reaction. And when they're in disbelief that they're following too close, like, what do you mean I'm too close? And it's like, buddy, you're less than 1.5 seconds away from the car in front of you. And you don't feel that you're close to that car.
I always drive like that.
I know you do. That's why I sent you that video.
Right?
Yeah. You threw your hands up at the camera when it said increased following distance.
Yep.
Wasn't he getting towed by Mikey over to Kenwood?
The following distance has been so dialed in. It used to be when we first got it, I feel like a lot of times because we had to calibrate the cameras, it seemed like they were off quite a bit. But I feel like in Samsara's true fashion, that has gotten better. And now the time that Samsara says you are is usually right. So if you're getting an alert at 1.5 seconds, and even if you wanted to argue that you were at 2.1 seconds, you need to be 4 seconds. Back off. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah. My pickup, I've talked about it a couple of times. It has it up on the window, the heads up display, and shows the distance. And I've tried really hard. And at my average, it seems to be I'm at 3, Jam. That's I fall in that spot.
That's your comfort zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed when I'm driving, like sometimes I'm like, holy crap, I'm really close to that car. I'm about to get an alert. And then I count and I'm like 2 seconds. I'm like, okay.
Right.
So I feel like this is too close and I have to back off. You know, I couldn't imagine being closer and being comfortable.
Exactly, Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how many times you guys all have to just experience out driving, and me and Dave will talk about it because we obviously are together quite a bit, but how close some people drive. And
Oh my
I
gosh,
get
Crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, how can
Yeah,
you?
you're following them going, oh, this isn't going to be good.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm scared for them. How?
Yeah.
And what are you getting out of that?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
just,
They even see a brake light come on. They're going to think it's somebody's
Yeah, they're gonna-
hard braking them or whatever. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, brake checking.
Brake checking them. And all they did was step on the brakes, and that person is going to panic brake and go crash. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be that jerk.
Yeah.
Just pushing people out of the way. I'm in that left lane, and if you're in the left lane, and I don't care if you're doing 75, I'm doing 80 or 85, move out of the way.
right.
And now I see that, and it's like, I'll be in the right lane, you're following too close in the left lane, I back off.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this could go south real quick.
Mhm.
Isn't it crazy what we've learned?
Oh, yeah.
Because we've all been there. You know what I mean? We've all been that
Oh, yeah.
jackass.
Right. Oh,
We've
yeah.
all done it. And I just love the fact and I just kept reading until I found it again. But he said, I hated that the camera always gave me following distance alerts. Well, what's cool is he learned he was following too close, right? So it's made you better there. It always gave me harsh brake alerts. And I've said this before, and I know you've helped me out with it, Jam, but I've always related that to, well, because you're following too close, someone slowed up and you had to jam on the brakes, right? And then it gave me sharp turns and rolling stops. I mean, if you're doing all of those, you're doing a pretty poor job.
You are not Cadillac.
Right, exactly. So I just love it. That's the reason I gave him a shout out before the podcast even started. When I read it, I'm like, that's one of the best ones, man. I love it. Sorry, Dave.
Oh no, I got that whole thing rolling when Jim said, you ready for the High Road Hauling? And I couldn't put it down. I had to keep talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
it.
Yep. We left off with Armando Gets It.
Yes. So anyway, this week's High Road Hauling is something that everybody, if you don't have it, you should get it. and it's on sale at Costco right now.
If you don't have it, get it.
Wow.
It is the essential life skill.
Essential life skill.
Yes. What drove Ted Giesel to endure the rejection of 27 publishers and still get up the next day and send a manuscript to the 28th under the pen name Dr. Seuss? What pushed Bethany Hamilton back into the ocean to win a surfing championship just 2 years after getting her arm ripped off by a shark? What made Franklin, a partially paralyzed man in a wheelchair, believe he could become president of the United States during the Great Depression? And what caused a molested runaway who got pregnant at 14 and lost her baby shortly after giving birth to rise above such unspectacular beginnings to become one of the richest and most influential figures in the world, whose iconic name, Oprah, is one of the most recognized names on the planet?
Oh, wow.
That quality is grit. Human grit is the eternal stuff that pushes us past the hurt, the fear, the doubt, the pain of rejection and failure, and all the personal obstacles of our own or others' making when things don't go as smoothly or as quickly as we planned. Grit picks us up after the fall. It pushes us forward after we've stumbled. It compels us to take the next step, to sacrifice the current moment for a lifetime of better moments. It dives us headfirst into our passion, into the deep waters of uncertainty to fulfill the dream. The difference between dreaming of success and succeeding is often only the grit necessary to do something about the passion. And how do you develop this essential quality? You feed the hunger. People who accomplish and succeed in life are people with eyes glued to the prize. They hunger so much for the thing they want to create, a thriving business, a loving family, to be the best at a skill, or an inner life of personal meaning and happiness. What do gritty people do? The best way to develop grit is to imagine what someone would do who already has it, and then do that. Apply it to what you're doing over and over and over again until it becomes a habitual part of who you are. Take baby steps along the way. All life is lived one day at a time. Each day is lived moment by moment. Habits and attitudes are formed one act and one decision at a time. If your life lacks the necessary grit, then evaluate where you are and take one gritty step, and that's all. With it, there is no such thing as failure, just another challenge to be wrestled with, learned from, and inspired by. And the quote this week is so, so true. It always seems impossible until it's done. And that's spoken by Nelson Mandela.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I got it's a little off subject, Super Dave, but do you happen to know the soft tissue between a shark's teeth?
What the heck?
No, it's called
Grit.
grit.
No, it's the person they just bit.
It's Bethany Hamilton's arm.
Exactly.
No.
That's what reminded me of that
That's
joke.
funny.
What's the soft tissue between a shark's teeth? You?
But that's something incredible. And I remember that gal too. And she went and won a championship 2 years after that with one arm.
Yeah, there's a
That's
really
freaking
good
grit.
story or movie.
Good movie.
too.
Yeah, right. There
There's
was
a-
a movie on that. Yeah.
There's another good one about the barrel racer who was in an accident,
Yes,
became paralyzed.
The become paralyzed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, how they strap her on the horse now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You ain't going nowhere.
And I think, honestly, everybody has grit. They just don't know it.
I agree, Dave.
Or they're maybe afraid.
They haven't, maybe they haven't found the opportunity to apply it.
Right. Like they're just too happy in the comfort zone, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think everybody has grit. Yep. I think some people don't have any grit.
I don't know if they know how to apply it, Jim. They've never been put in when I say a do or die, that's pretty extensive, but a situation where it's, again, I'm using the term do or die, and it's not a death situation.
That's too hard.
Yeah.
It's too hard. I'm too tired.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's a deep thought.
It is. It is. There's a lot there.
Because you got, yeah. I mean, I don't want to get off in the weeds in it, but you got to know in those situations where you're either, you know, and I think more of war, that you're either going to die or you have to do this. Because I wanted to say to you both that I think nobody showed them what grit was. They'd never seen that example. And I'm not sure that's true, because there has to be that person that in war, for example, you're shot, and are you going to try to crawl and save yourself, or you're not? And I assume that's grit.
Who showed Oprah Winfrey her grit?
Right. That's what I mean, Jam.
You know what
I don't think
like
that's always true.
Yeah,
It's you like you're saying, Dave,
She had it in her.
You have it,
exactly.
but you got to dig it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Yeah, there's
Some people have never had to dig it.
yeah.
some
Never
peop-
had to muster it up.
some people just won't get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And if it's uncomfortable, they don't want to do it.
But
you know?
but I think those that, you know, touch upon that and do that and get that feeling of making it can continue to do it. It grows. Your grit grows.
Absolutely. Once you do something hard and you come out the other side,
Yeah.
it prepares you for more hard things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So
I mean,
That is true.
do more hard things. Just
Yeah.
make yourself
Yeah.
do hard. That like my buddy Todd. Todd does the hardest. Todd, by the way, Todd's up to like 5.5 years of running
Wow.
every single day
yeah, and hates it.
and hates it.
When he was on the podcast.
Yeah, hates it.
What was your hardest day yesterday?
Yeah.
You know, but he does it because he wants to do something hard.
Hard.
So when,
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
It will teach you whatever he runs into, then it's not hard.
right.
Yeah.
Good high road hauling soup.
Yep.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was a good one.
Super Dave.
Final
Such a
thoughts,
blast.
everybody?
That's a deep one. Not a deep one. I think it's probably both on mine and Dave's mind. I wanted to, say something about Dad without, just crying, Jam, and getting through it and being so emotional. And we've talked about it in the last couple of days of trying to express our opinions without getting so teared up and losing that. And we've talked about the spirit of some people that can get through that. And how amazing I personally think they are. I know I've told you the guys several times, and when he was on the podcast, Al Fry did the I don't know what you calling it, the eulogy at his dad's wedding ceremony, and
Memorial.
he just joked through it, and had the phone ringing and answered it like it was Dad from heaven, and was the plant running and all that kind of stuff. And me and Dave's had a few days to reflect about Dad, and nobody's perfect, and we loved our dads so much. But I think one of the qualities that me and Dave came up with is, and maybe it's the part of grit, but he taught us how to fight. And he would stand beside anybody and fight. And by fight, I'm not saying putting on the gloves and jump in the ring. You fight for the right thing, fight for equality, fight for not justice as a bad law, just that doesn't feel right. Somebody bullying you or just not doing the right thing. He would stand up and fight. And, he was an individual. He did things himself. He was proud of that. But for me and Dave, if we ever had a situation where we needed to go to war, and I'm going to call it war, he went to war with you. He stood in the trenches. It didn't matter. He might have golfed that morning, but he went to war with you in the afternoon.
Sure.
And I want to mention that to everybody that was an outstanding quality in our dad. And if you can find that in yourself, it's a hell of a quality. And thanks, Dad. That's all, and I want to get through this, because I'm not gonna choke up here, because he deserves to be honored in a good vocal way. So
just hearing you talk about him sticking up for like people, not being treated right and stuff. He did that till the very end with the guy playing pool.
Absolutely, Jam. I thought about doing the story with everybody, and I got through it with Super Dave, but yeah, he did. We met a woman. Dad was very near passing away, and a lady came into the room where Dad was at, and asked me and Dave if she could sit and visit with Dad for a little bit. And And we're like, absolutely, come on in, you're welcome and stuff. And she asked me and Dave if she could tell us a story. And me and Dave said, absolutely. And she's got this aura about her, you guys, where she's at peace with herself and at peace with the world. She's a good person. You can just read that. And she sits down beside Dad and she starts to tell me and Dave that she doesn't live there at the home, right? So, Dad meeting her is kind of extraordinary anyway. And she says, my husband's here. My husband's here in memory care. And she said, he's played pool since he was 12 years old. And she said, we were upstairs one day playing pool. And of course, with my husband having Alzheimer's, he couldn't remember all the rules. And she said, the only rule I really tried to get him to stick to is you hit the white ball first. And she joked with us, and he couldn't remember that very well.
That happened on good days.
Yeah, that happened on good days.
It happened
right?
on good days.
Good days. And Dad must have been around there at some point and met them. But there was a gentleman there and she was so politically correct.
She was a great lady.
She was great, but she said there was a gentleman there that didn't agree with how my husband was playing and was very rude to us. And Dad stood up and said, I will take care of that. If that ever happens again, let me know. And she joked with us that they never ran into that guy ever again.
He's under the facility.
So we're not sure what Dad did, but Dad took care of it. And she asked, just before she left, if she could give Dad a kiss, and she gave him a kiss and blessed him and said, I'll see you in heaven, and thanked us, and just kind of whoosh, and she was out of the room. And she summed up Dad's spirit for us. It was a touching moment. I got to tell you, we were both sitting on the couch crying. And it was good. It was amazing. So yeah, Jam, to the very end, no matter where he was at and how he was feeling, because he had to be in some pain. He was having some physical issues and stuff. There he was fighting the good fight. So yeah, thanks, Pops. I love you.
That was a good one, Jim. Yeah. That was, I said when she left the room, that was an angelic moment, because she like floated in the room. She sat down on the bed. She held his hand.
Yeah.
Caressed his arm, all while telling us this. And she made it perfectly clear that he was a protector.
Love that.
Good stuff.
Yeah. This is, I was thinking about your dad yesterday, and this not only reflects him, but your mom too. But you guys, one thing I've learned from you guys is to treat people the same. And you guys are always, when it comes to the leadership team, we all get treated the same. Drivers, they get treated, everybody gets treated the same. There's no playing favorites. And I believe you learned that from your parents. And I remember you guys were in Dave's office one day, and I was like, so growing up, Jim, did you like pick on Brother Dave and, beat him up and stuff? And you were like, no, it just wasn't allowed, So I just feel like your dad and mom were just very fair people and had really good standards and expectations. And they raised two great boys, who turned into great men. So
thank you, Jim.
Yeah. It wasn't until I witnessed that event yesterday that I realized he was a protector.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah. Yeah, and Dave's, and I know we're carrying on here, you guys, but it was quite a moment. The woman who we didn't even ask her name, we don't know her, don't know anything about the darn lady.
Yeah.
She just really, and Dave did sum it up, angelical, the way it was meant to be.
Nice.
It was one of those.
Maybe she was an angel.
Right, Dave? Right? You got to touch on that.
That shit happens, man.
I get it. You got to touch on that stuff.
It probably felt good too to see what other people, how they held your dad.
Oh, Jim.
Yeah.
They held him in a high regard, and to see that as his boys has got to be cool.
Yeah. So true. And you speak about mom, and, we do try to treat everybody the same and equal, and you take the mixture of our parents. Dad was an only child, and I think that's where he got that independence and a little bit of selfishness that was there, and he'd admit it, and you had my mom that had an older brother. There was a little bit of difference between them, but they, her older brother just protected her, and she knew there was never a fight, and how much mom praised. And I think the dad not having any siblings, mom knowing the relationship of having a sibling, and then the blend, of being equal, and dad was the opposite. It's kind of like that story of the twins. I became an alcoholic because my mom and dad was an alcoholic. Well, I didn't become an alcoholic because my parents were alcoholics, right?
Right.
And dad was from a broken home, an only child, was always getting in fights in school, was in trouble. And he went into the service early, and he got permission from his mom and dad, or from his mom, sorry, to go at 17. And he goes, cause I knew I had to do something.
I couldn't stay there.
I couldn't stay there, and yet my mom, from a farming German family originally from Kansas that moved here and, started the trucking business, Sam Slagle, and, the mix and the blend, and we were fortunate, and lots of people have great parents and stuff, not to take away from everybody, but we've been lucky.
Very lucky.
Married 64 years.
Yeah.
All of that. That's, he was 87 years old.
Oh, wow.
You can't, good life, fortunate. Yeah.
Amen.
So
It was definitely a great moment.
Yeah.
Good experience.
Yep.
Nice.
One we have to shoulder now.
Yeah.
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 It'll be a fond memory. 20 years from now, you'll remember that, and it'll bring you happiness.
Absolutely, Dave. Yeah. Yeah. And we shared it with our kids, made sure they know.
Yeah.
Nice. Soup, you got anything else?
No.
All right, everybody. That wraps up for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Channel 23 podcast. Hit that follow button. Go back and listen to episode 72 to help find Amber's mom. Links to her story will be in today's show notes. And let's say the creed and get on out.
Sounds good.
Together we face and overcome all that stands before us. Together we are accident free. Together we joyfully create honest value for those we serve. Together we celebrate our differences and respect those with whom we work. Together we are accountable for our words and our actions. Together we are the JFW family. All right, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Have a safe week.
Keep on trucking, Pops.
I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. Well, it's a family tradition, any Rocky Mountain day. Our fathers before us showed us the way. We worked for asphalt cowboys and concrete kings, but that's never been a problem, cause we got diesel in our veins. We've got diesel in our veins. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. I hear there's a couple million tons to move. I see them everywhere. So you best get out their way and watch that sand and gravel disappear. There's another run to make. We gotta get it there on time. And we got what it takes to lay it all out on the line. We'll lay it all out on the line. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks got the best drivers in town. They got all the tools they need to keep that hammer down. When they hit them scales, they won't need to dodge them, won't need to duck them. They just keep that hammer down, and they keep that diesel trucking. Keep that hammer down, and keep that diesel trucking. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. Keep them doors closed, keep them butts in their seats, 'cause those customers are calling, and those red trucks can't be beat. They've gotta put the hammer down and pick up another load. Get it off the ground, keep them eyes open and on the road. Keep them eyes open on the road. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. Breaker 23, anybody got a copy on that Channel 23 podcast? Welcome, and thanks for listening.